have you. We've got Calhoun saying that Boeing is making some progress, but how do you dig deeper to make sure that actually happens?
Right. Well, that's exactly right, is that we need to figure out, have they recreated a culture of safety? Is safety indeed first? And it seems like they make some corrective steps, but we want to know why. So we have 2 whistleblowers that have died since their accusation. Another one's been transferred. So what are they doing differently today? We want to make sure that they are indeed safe. That's my top priority today. They were once a very storied American company. I've been talking to pilots. They say that they used to have little buttons that said, if it ain't Boeing, I ain't leaving. I've been talking to other people doing some private research there as well, making sure that the design is safe. I have confidence that we can get back there, but we've got a ways to go.
Senator, Boeing has been really good at buying influence in D.C. They spend a lot of money. They hire a lot of lobbyists. We need more competition in the U.S. We need somebody else besides Boeing. If Boeing planes aren't working, we should go somewhere else, and it shouldn't have to be Europe. It definitely shouldn't be China, who's building a big competitor as well. What are you going to do to talk about promoting more competition in aerospace in the U.S.?
Right. So the good news is I don't even know who the Boeing lobbyist is. So I don't think that we're all influenced by those types of dollars. But I do think companies like Airbus are a big competitor already. If there's something that we can do with the research and development side of things, then I'm all in favor of that. Would love to have more competition. It's easier said than done, but very welcome the concept and the idea.
Are you looking today at exploring the idea if the defense business should be separated at all from the commercial business?
You know, that topic has not came up, but I think that's where most of your lobbying money is actually being spent, is on that huge NDAA budget. You know, $1 trillion a year we're spending on the military. They just increased it another $25 billion as well. I think everything's on the table, but ultimately it's going to be up to Boeing to turn this thing around, to turn it around and instill the confidence back for the American people, because eventually they'll be the judge right now. And right now Boeing is struggling with their reputation.
Senator, moving on, the Kansas Attorney General is suing Pfizer over misrepresentations and adverse events of the COVID-19 vaccine, saying that it violated the state's Consumer Protection Act. We've got a soundbite from him. Just listen and then react.
Many people who chose to get the vaccine did so sensing that it was urgent and they had to do it for their own safety. And in that situation, it was crucial that the pharmaceutical companies speak truthfully and present all information that they have. And this consumer protection suit against Pfizer is based on the fact that they had information that was contrary to what they were saying publicly.
But, Senator, I will point out the fact that the government gave these companies immunity because we were in an emergency situation. I wonder if that complicates everything.
Yeah, so all the above, but I think this comes down to a federal government overreach once again, that this vaccine mandate is really what's driving this. This is a rebound because of the vaccine mandate, and really goes back to the propaganda that Anthony Fauci led. From February on, he led a huge propaganda campaign telling us that the vaccine was all things for everybody, that it would take care of all of your woes. And I think that they overpromised, they underdelivered, and then I'm going to have to give some credit here to Pfizer as well. Look, they saved millions of lives. The problem is they didn't let physicians like me discuss with our patients what we thought was best for them. Very early on, we knew that this virus was much more impactful for older people, for people with medical secondary conditions. Those are the ones that needed vaccinated, and very early on we saw these complications, cardiomyopathy, inflammation of the heart, those types of things going on from the vaccine, typically with young males. That's what my frustration is. But once again, overreach of the federal government, a one-size-fits-all, letting doctors out in the communities try to help make some of these decisions with patients.
Another topic we're looking at today, Biden trying to bypass Congress and look at an order that gives legal status to immigrant spouses of U.S. citizens. Does this feel like a political talking point ahead of the debate next week?
You know, absolutely it is. This is the wrong policy at the wrong time. You know, it just was this week that Rachel Moran we found her murderer, an illegal alien from another country. It seems like Laken Riley's passing was just days ago, weeks ago as well. I think that's what we should be focused on right now, is that this is a national security issue. That Joe Biden, though, he sees this as an election issue. He's totally ignoring the fact that we're going to lose, 300 Americans today from fentanyl poisoning. So this is a reaction to that election crisis and its horrible polling numbers.
Senator, we're hearing an awful lot from Republicans about unity. Former President Trump talked about unity. Speaker Mike Johnson talking about unity. I would assume that would translate into some real legislation if Republicans win big in November. What kind of legislation could America expect if that kind of unity translates into election results?
Yeah, so I think number one is to secure the border. Next is drill, baby, drill. And then extending the tax cuts. I think those are three basic policies that most Americans want to see absolutely what we're talking about up here. And probably the only way that does with significant promise is if we control all three levers, the White House, the Senate, and the House. So secure the border, drill, baby, drill, and let's work on extending those Trump tax cuts.
Senator, always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.